I recently played through the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and I knew pretty quickly into the game that I'd want to make a video on it. But before I actually start the video, I want to preface by saying that the Stanley Parable is at its best when you don't know what to expect and you go into the game blind. For anyone on PC, the original Stanley Parable on Steam has a demo, and it might be worth using that demo rather than this video to gauge whether or not you'd like to buy the game. That being said, I'll only be going over the basics of the Stanley Parable in this video, so it's up to you on whether or not you want to stay. Still here? Alright then, let's start. Before anything, I'll set the scene. You play as Stanley, and this game is essentially a walking simulator with the way the gameplay works. But while it plays like a walking simulator, the Stanley Parable is quite the unique game. To show you a glimpse of why, I'll finish my introduction and allow the game to do its introduction.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Imagine that you're the one playing here. Do you listen to the narrator and go through the left door? Or do you ignore him completely and go through the right door? It's a simple question, but both choices will lead to different outcomes. Let's say you go through the right door and you continue down that direction. Very soon you'll find yourself in a very similar scenario. So what path do you choose now? Or now? How about now? I'm sure you see what I'm getting at here. This is a game of many choices, many paths. And even though there is technically no correct path, you soon discover that the narrator doesn't think the same way. No, for him there is absolutely a correct way, and as far as he's concerned, it's his job to bring you on that path.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
That's the basic premise of the Stanley Parable. Just know that no matter what you do or where you go, you'll be spending a lot of time with the glorious narrator of the game, Kevin Brighting. I don't think it's a bold statement to say that the narrator is one of, if not the main reason that this game is as good as it is. He's sarcastic, comedic, entertaining, thought-provoking, and just about everything in between.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
The narrator's witty and often insightful dialogue is what pushes the game to truly make it stand out among the crowd. Both him and the game also have a tendency to keep you on your toes. Combine that with the amount of routes that are available to take and you honestly never can know what to expect.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Up to this point I've mainly been talking about content found in the Stanley Parable, but what is it that the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe adds? There's plenty of quality of life changes, more fluid movement, enhanced graphics, but ultimately the main reason the Ultra Deluxe version of this game is better than its predecessor is thanks to numerous new paths and, by extension, lots of new dialogue. You even get this fancy new door. Truly great stuff. To anyone who's never played the Stanley Parable, this game was a really good time for me and I recommend it. And remember, if you're on PC, be sure to check out that demo that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. As for people who have played the original, I can confirm that the additional content in this version is great and well made, so the decision boils down to how much you enjoyed the original and also how much you're willing to spend. Just keep in mind that a lot of the game is still the old content that you've already experienced. Since this is a remaster, it isn't the Stanley Parable 2, I think.